that two soldiers have been shot near the White House. The suspect is in custody, but the motive remains unclear at this time.
This story isn't just a headline. It's a signal, one that shows how vulnerable even the most secure city in America truly is. On November 26, 2025, just 600 meters from the White House, two members of the National Guard were patrolling near the Farragut West metro station in Washington, D.C. It was an ordinary evening. People were leaving work, traffic was heavy, and street lights were coming on. Then, without warning, shots were fired. Witnesses say a man approached the soldiers calmly and unleashed more than 10 gunshots. Panic spread instantly. Some people ran, others froze. The soldiers returned fire, but one was hit critically and later died. She was only 20 years old. The other was badly injured but survived. What happened next left authorities scrambling for answers. The shooter was identified as 29-year-old Rahmanullah Lakanwal, an Afghan national who entered the US in 2021 after reportedly working with American forces during the Afghanistan war. For the first few years, his life seemed normal, but investigators now believe something changed. Officials are still searching for motive. Was it mental instability, trauma from war, a sense of betrayal, or an act of revenge? What makes this case even more controversial is that his paperwork for entering the country had inconsistencies. He passed through immigration despite missing information in his screening, and that has led to serious questions. How many more people may have entered the country under similar circumstances? And how was someone able to attack US soldiers right next to the nation's capital without being flagged? This incident exposes major gaps in national security. Washington, D.C. is supposed to be one of the most heavily monitored cities in the world. Surveillance cameras, plainclothes agents, motion tracking, and facial recognition systems are everywhere. Yet this attack happened without any prior warning. That raises another chilling question. Was it sudden, or had someone been watching him and doing nothing? Law enforcement immediately began reviewing asylum and immigration cases similar to his, suggesting that authorities are worried this might not be an isolated incident. After all, security failures don't just happen. They happen because something, or someone, was missed. The motive is still unknown, and that silence has allowed theories to grow. Some believe it could have been retaliation related to the US withdrawal from Afghanistan. Others believe mental health may have played a role. Untreated trauma from war and displacement can have devastating effects when ignored. And then there is the darker theory, radicalization. The internet is filled with extremist groups, conspiracy forums, and anti-government movements that prey on vulnerable individuals. Was Lakanwal influenced by one of them? Or did he act completely alone, without any plan, just a moment of rage that changed lives forever? Until investigators speak openly, the truth remains covered, and the public remains in the dark. This case is already affecting security policies. Some lawmakers are calling for stricter immigration checks. Others are demanding mandatory mental health evaluations for refugees and veterans. Military experts want enhanced screening and better threat detection tools for soldiers in public areas. Because if US soldiers can be attacked in Washington, D.C., just steps away from the White House, then the question becomes, who is really safe? The message is clear: power, cameras, fences, and patrols are not enough to stop danger when danger already walks among civilians. But beyond politics, this is also a human tragedy. The young soldier who lost her life had a family, dreams, and a future she never got to live. The surviving soldier is struggling to recover, both physically and mentally. Their families are living through something the news cycle will forget, but they never will. Across America, thousands of National Guard members now wonder quietly, could this happen to me? And that is what makes this story more than a crime. It makes it a warning. A warning that safety cannot be assumed just because a place feels secure. Even the strongest cities can have weak moments. Right now, this case is still open. Investigators have not confirmed the motive. The government has not revealed everything. And somewhere within this incident, there are still pieces missing. That is why this story matters. Because when answers are missing, consequences follow. In the next part of this investigation, we will look deeper into the motive, the timeline of the shooter's life in America, and what officials might not be telling the public. If you want that breakdown, stay tuned. This is American Anomalies, and we uncover the stories that America is still trying to understand.